की जय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Suratkumar Yogi Ram Suratkumar Yogi Ram Suratkumar Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama Rama Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram 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 Rama Rama Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram. Rama Rama Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram, Ram, Rama 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 Ram. Bhagavan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki jai. Sarva Yogi Ramsuratkumar Nama. This is one more special evening, a very auspicious evening, the evening twilight meant for worship of the divine, which creates a very strong spiritual current. The time for the divine worship by all the beings of the cosmos. So this is no small grace that Bhagwan has blessed us to gather here and to chant his powerful name in his powerful shrine. We have offered with deep gratitude the Nama lotuses at his lotus feet. And before we offer today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagwan, we shall have a glimpse of Sanadi Street House spiritual ministry of Bhagwan. How he could play a very simple leela to demonstrate a very high point, a lesson to be learnt by all of us. Way back, I think in the early 80s, Sri Janardhanan had gone for darshan of Bhagwan at Sanadi Street House with his children. He has 3 children, 2 girls and 1 boy. At the time, they were all very, very young. Shobhana, Andal and Ramkumar. Ramkumar was born only after their prayer, after Sri Janardhanan and his wife Vijayamma prayer to Bhagwan. So he became a very special child. At least that's what Shobhana and Andal thought. The children were playing in the back corridor when Sri Janardhanan was seated inside the hall in the residence of Bhagwan at Sanadi Street House. Now Ramkumar was very mischievous. He was too young, and he went to his sisters, did some mischief, annoyed them, and in return he got a nice beating from them. Both the sisters gave him nicely, and he started to cry. And then he's complained, "You people are doing this to me, I shall go and report to Swami." Then the girls, they were provoked even more, and they said, "Oh yes, you go and tell your Swami. and then gave him one more nice beating. Now he could not control himself anymore. He cried very loudly and ran inside. He went to Swami, our Bhagwan, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, and complained. He said, Swami, you see those two people? They are beating me so cruelly. You see here, I got hurt on the head, and they pinched me here, and then he was showing his head and his hand with tears and complained. Then Swami was all love, all compassion, with such tenderness on his face. He said, you show me the spot, and then he stroked it with such concern. And then he stroked this little boy's hand as well and pacified him. But then Ramkumar was not to be pacified. He would not hear any words, any pacifying words from Bhagwan, and he was still crying. And then Swami asked him, who beat you most? He mentioned Andal. Then Swami said, call Andal. This beggar will ask. And then when Andal and Shobhana, both of them, both the children came inside, and then Swami was saying, you people are bigger than him, and you are beating him nicely now because he is weak and young. He will soon become very strong, like Bhima. And then you can't do this to him. Now Ramkumar began to smile because he knew he had found a champion in Bhagwan, putting forth his cause. And then when Swami said like this, siding with Ramkumar, the two sisters, the girls, said, Swami, you don't know. You see, he is the favorite child of my father. Because he's the only one, the only boy in the house. He's become a favorite, a darling, the sweetheart of my father. He loves him more. And that's why he has become so bad. Ramkumar is doing all this. And then Bhagwan laughed and said, yes, yes. Now we people have to listen to Bhagwan very carefully because it carries a message for all of us. There are many householders here with children. And we all know how the children compete with each other, especially for the parents' love. And how they imagine that one child is more favorite than the other. Now Bhagwan said, Shobhana, you see, Ramkumar is the only baby boy. So he is very special. He is a darling, he is the favorite of Janardhanan. And then he said, Shobhana is very special, favorite of Shri Janardhanan, because she is the only Shobhana for him. And Andal is also very special, a favorite of Janardhanan, because Andal is the only Andal for him. And then he said, Vijaya is also very special, a favorite for Janardhanan, because she is only one wife to Janardhanan. So he went on saying humorously, one after the other, and began to laugh. When I read this, I was wonderstruck. He was playing with the children, he was just playing along with the children and spoke in their language. But then, just see how he's saying, Shobhana is very dear to Janardhanan because she's only Shobhana for him. There is only one Andal, there is only one Shobhana. There is only one Ramkumar. So each one is very special. Each one is a favorite for the parents because each one is unique. There can be no comparison at all. Just shift it over to the entire creation. God is infinite. His every expression is unique. There are no two things identical. Even in the identical twins, there would be changes. God never repeats his expression. He's infinite, and therefore there are infinite expressions. Each one is distinct and unique, and nothing can compare with that. So also, in a household, each child is a favorite in its own way, because each child is unique and distinct, and no one could compare the child with any other child. We have 5 fingers, and each one is different from the others. And yet, we cannot do even without one single finger. So, what Bhagwan playfully and so hilariously said, the children started to laugh, but we, the bigger children, the older, much older children, have something to learn from this too. One should never compare oneself with others, and no one is a greater favorite to God or the Guru or the parents. Each one is unique. Each one is distinct from the others. The spider's web is unique, distinct, and no other insect can do that. It is very special in God's view. And you can imagine, even the smallest insect, the most insignificant one, is still unique and special in creation. So the parents, as well as the children, have something to learn from this, that every child is very special, distinct, and a favorite. Now, as Bhagwan was going on with this play, suddenly he began to change his tune. He looked at Ramkumar, the little one, and smiled with great love and said, Ramkumar will one day come on a horse. He will win the gold medal and become very popular. But even then, he would not forget my father. That day, in the Hindu, there was news about Raghuveer Singh, who had won the gold medal. He was on a horse and he jumped across, winning the first place. Now, Bhagwan was referring to that. And then Bhagwan went on to say, one day, Ramkumar will have a fleet of cars. He will be so rich. He will have a fleet of cars. And then what he would do with that? He would buy one car for his mother, He would buy a car for Shobhana. He would buy another car for Andal. He would buy a golden car for this beggar. And even then, Ramkumar will not forget my father. And again he went on to say, Ramkumar would own bungalows. He would get a huge bungalow for this beggar. He would present one bungalow to his mother. He would make one bungalow for his sister Shobhana, and he would give one bungalow to Andal. Even then, Ramkumar would not forget my father. And then again he went on to say, Ramkumar would come up so well in life. He would occupy a very high position, and foreigners would come in special plane to visit him. Even then, Ramkumar would not forget my father. So he went on to say, one after the other, all the rich, all the impossible things for people to attain. But he said, despite that, he would not forget my father. Which means any of us who are in any such position should not forget Bhagwan, should not forget God. Just because we possess cars, just because we own many bungalows, just because we are so popular, famed, we should not forget Father, the Supreme Father. So when I read this very interesting and delightful episode, I was wonderstruck. I was just thinking how playfully, in a very simple way, he put forth the examples and declared how each one is unique and distinct and therefore a favorite, and how despite all that we own up, all that we possess in life, be it fame, name, richness, and all that one craves for, we should never forget the Supreme Father, who is at the root of it all. So this is how Bhagwan taught us simple but profound lessons. So those of us who feel the need to learn something from this can absorb this and contemplate. Indeed, it's very true. In the entire creation, you cannot find any repetition. Such is the glory of the Supreme Father. Everything is new and fresh, and there is no repetition. One can verify it in any way. I remember there is a law in physics which says not even the particles, the atomic particles or the nuclear particles, no two particles can be identical. If they are, then one will pass away. One will be destroyed. Even in the most identical twins, there would be differences. We do not know. The closest ones will notice the difference. Such is the power of creation, the power of the Creator, the Shakti. Now we shall offer our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagwan by begging him, because that's all we can do. And let's beg 1,000,000 times for his immediate divine intervention to free the humanity from the grip of these virulent viruses that affect both the body and the mind completely, so that no such situation would repeat itself ever again, and bring back a dharmic normalcy in all aspects of life. We beg you, Bhagwan, to uproot all the negativities from the mind and to give protection and all-round welfare to the unselfish people who are already working hard for the sake of the others. We beg you, Bhagwan, intensely, for unbroken, ceaseless chanting of your name, knowing that no single nama goes waste. Every nama does its transforming work. And Bhagwan, we beg you to bless us to be fine instruments, fine and sattvic instruments in your hands, so that we could run our everyday life as an offering to God. Have we not said God is the only goal of life? And remembering God is living in God. It's only when we remember God, we truly live. And when we forget God, we are dead. We may be breathing and moving about, doing all things, and yet it's a state of death. We are not serving the purpose of life. And Bhagwan, we also beg you for that supreme state of being, for that supreme blessing, for complete purification, so that we could see, we could feel your living, pulsating, vibrant presence in everything and everywhere. And Bhagwan, we also beg you for that blessing to be able to see your will, your sankalpa, and your leelas in all the happenings of life, in all the happenings of the world. And most importantly, we should be able to see your blessing, your hidden grace, even in the most cruel sufferings of life, the most devastating experiences of life, knowing they are at once the karmic effect of the bad karmas of our past, and yet a blessing from God to push us towards God. This is meant for our spiritual growth. It happens, every suffering happens because it's necessary. Necessary for what? For our spiritual growth, for a greater push towards God, for closer kinship with God. And therefore, it's meant to be a definite blessing. Knowing it, recognizing it for what it is, what it truly is, let us be grateful to Him, accepting it. And Bhagwan, we once again beg you for the welfare of all the species in the cosmos, in whatever state of being they are. We seek your blessings for them to be free from their state of misery and be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, that supreme blessing, the ultimate grace, to be free from the vicious cycle of births and deaths, from the vicious grip of our ego, so that we would live eternally in you, the eternal entity. We beg you 1,000,000 times for that ultimate state of being, the state of fullness, the state of bliss. And we will continue to pray for this, for all. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.